thrown in jail.
Right.
But, we were, at that time, we were really, really in the grip of Big Pharma. And, they weren't going to let anything like that happen. And I think that what's really brought on the greatest revolution of knowledge was the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is when all of this alternative healing has really become more mainstream. And there's just so many people out there, they don't know where to begin. But I'm going to tell you something. Prior to the internet, there were a lot of arrests. There were a lot of things that happened to good people that unimaginable. And this was because of money. It was to protect, not to oppress, not wanting people to know that information. Well, and then, now we've got the internet, so c'est la vie on that one.
Right?
Yeah. So back to vitamin D, it was in 2009 that a study found that patients deficient in vitamin D require almost twice as much pain medication as patients with adequate levels. So there's a direct relationship between vitamin D levels and pain. Supplements with vitamin D and regularly exposing your skin to natural sunlight just might be what you really need to do for overcoming pain. And if you stop and think about like the old movies, the old movies where they used to call the nut houses the sanitariums, and of course I guess it was a hospital too, and they'd always have to wheel the people out, out onto the patio areas of the hospitals and stuff, and and let them have 10, 15, 20 minutes of sun. And that's something that we don't drive by our hospitals here and on a beautiful, gorgeous day and see wheelchairs out there lined up. We don't see that. And the best thing you could hope for is, if you are in the hospital, is to get a room with a south or a west view so that you can get some sunlight into your room and get over into that chair, But so it's really something that is amazing that now it's finally being recognized. And one thing I'd like to say is that there's some talk here that Dr. Oz, the medical field and the pharmaceutical industry, they're not sitting real well with Dr. Oz.
Oh, really?
Educating the masses about nutrition.
Oh, really?
And I guess maybe their guidelines of he's not qualified for nutrition is because medical school doesn't really teach you anything about nutrition. So that's probably one of the things that they're leaning on, because it's not part of their core curriculum. Is not much nutrition. But I'll tell you what, he's a mighty sharp guy, and he knows what he's talking about. And thank goodness that he has. I got real upset with him when he was kind of denouncing, that there was any problems with GMO food. And that really kind of took me back. But he's changed his opinion about that. And
we're all entitled to that.
That's right. Yes, we are. And there was enough of a public outcry with his audience that, I respect that he, did some more research and reading a lot of the scientific literature that's out there, again, from other countries. You know, it's not all the literature from our country.
Right.
It's other countries.
People, and there are the reports out there, if you do some digging, that you will find out that most of these reports that come out are skewed. And like Dr. Mateo says, you know, they are going to say what they want it to be said. And to me, that just minimalizes that whole report. And you know, I really don't care what they say. You know, because, you know, whatever they're saying, you know, it makes me think that they're just lying to my face anyway. So, I mean,
right. Well, you know, we've got Dr. Oz, and then we have, you know, who's a medical doctor. And then, you know, the other one, too, that is just amazing. And he was out there speaking the truth way before Dr. Oz, and that's Dr. Mercola. Dr. Mercola is a wealth of information and just a very laid-back personality, and but boy, he is to the point, and he knows what he's talking about. And you know, his site, Dr. Mercola, MERCOLA.com, is just a ton of information. And then we've got other wonderful people out there that are really speaking up. And you know, the Health Ranger guy, he's awesome on the stuff that he puts out, and a lot of this with, you know, with the pain and stuff, you know, shared from his website. And he's really a cool guy. And
I'll have to check
just check out the Health Ranger.
The Health Ranger.
Google the Health Ranger, and you're going to come up with so much stuff of his. And we're don't have too much time left here, but I want to go through. I do want to go through some of this on our sense of smell and the essential oils. And you know, our smell is the most primal sense that we have, and it has an amazing influence over our thoughts and our emotions, moods, memories. Certain smells will bring back memory, behaviors, and scents are experienced long before the words come out of your mouth. Just smelling it, smelling something, you know, triggers, you know, calmness, relaxing, stimulates good thoughts. For, you know, as far as other sensations such as sound and visual images, the sensory input is delivered straight to the thalamus in our brain, which it's kind of a big switchboard in our head. And the data goes out to your primary sensory areas of the body. Smells are different. Before reaching your thalamus, the first whiff of that can make its way through other regions of your brain, including areas controlling memory and emotion. So with scents, all you have is this extra processing even before you have a conscious awareness of the scent. It is said that they used to say that we could smell over, we could discern over 1,000 different scents. It's now proven we can actually discern over 1 million different scents.
Really?
Yeah, and so. So, you know, they've got a powerful influence on how we feel and think and we behave. Aromatherapy allows us to harness that power in from the healing of the plants. Simply enhance your state of well-being. Essential oils carry biologically active volatile compounds that are highly concentrated forms that can provide therapeutic levels in really very small amounts. So you need to understand that what we're talking about here is therapeutic grade oils from plants. You know, the good, the ones that are made from plants, not the ones that, you know, floor stripper and this and that can give you, you know, strawberry flavor, raspberry flavor, vanilla. Yeah,
Right.
So this is what we're talking about here is therapeutic grade and food grade, not synthetic, and not the synthetic ones that are put in perfumes and some body products, and because those synthetic fragrances and perfumes, they can be toxic, and they're also good chance of allergic reactions. So for thousands of years, fragrances have been around, and according to the smell report, a process of extracting and preserving a flower's scent using alcohol distillation was, once that was discovered, that was around the 11th century.
Wow.
And it was an Arabian alchemist and physician who sort of stumbled onto the process, trying to isolate the smell from what they called the holy rose. So before this, perfumes consisted of only thick resins and gums and gooey concoctions. That was perfume. So what he stumbled upon was the extraction of the fragrance from the flowers, and to capture that in the oil. So that was the 11th century, and even back into the 17th and 18th centuries, the physicians promoted therapeutic uses of scents, including Hippocrates. Even the plague was treated with fragrances. And I know they used a lot of them after.
Right.
As well. It wasn't until the early 19th century that medicinal uses of essential oils was largely discredited by the scientists who favored drugs. Well, come on, that don't surprise you.
Right.
They're gonna, stomp down anything that they can. Fortunately, aromatherapy is really making a strong comeback. It's like with herbs, even herbs. So the thing is that we're almost out of time. So I kind of want to go through, stress. A lot of people deal with stress and anxiety. Lavender, lemon, peppermint. Those are real common, easy to get a hold of essential oils, and they're very good for stress and anxiety. Insomnia, lavender, sandalwood, chamomile. Depression, peppermint, chamomile, jasmine, lavender, very good for that. Pain, again, lavender, chamomile, clary sage, eucalyptus, peppermint. I'd rather be rubbing peppermint on my joints.
So now, I've noticed you've mentioned chamomile a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now, does it matter whether it's German, Roman, or
no?
Just as long as it's chamomile?
Roman, but any chamomile, I would use.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And tea as well.
Okay.
So let's see here. Rosemary is really good for pain as well. Rosemary and peppermint. You can rub that on your joints and swollen areas. Kingdom of Healing has a product called Typhu that is amazing for pain, and the herbal medicine dr.com has they call it deep blue, and that is used as well. So I'd rather be slathering that over my areas that are painful on my body than WD-40.
Okay, yeah.
And not into that, at all. But it's real, people do it. Low energy, black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, very good for helping give you some energy and clarity. Attention and memory, sage, peppermint, cinnamon. Well, we are kind of done for today's show, and next week I'm going to start with going through each system of the body.
Okay.
And what to do to bring that into balance, what foods we need, what nutrients we need, herbs, essential oils. So that will go in 2 weeks as I